only a pleasure session this evening. All I'm going to do is raid the freezer. It's the end of year. I'm going to use up some of the stuff that's lying around. What's that? Oh, there you are. There's a mackerel. Oh, old wrap of blacks. Oh, attached to another bit of mackerel. Right, that goes. Pack of squid. Oh, always take my ice block. What else? I think that's an empty bag. Right, I think we'll take a few of those anchovies. Oh, so welcome back to what I think is only my third pleasure session of the year. It's 27th of December today, I think, and all I've done is raided the fridge, driven to somewhere very close to where I live. It's only about 15 minutes away. We have had a match here before. This is Browndown West. Most of our Browndown matches are east. I'm pretty sure we've had one this end. But this is a spot I always used to come to when I was younger. Tends to be quiet. People don't like the walk. So there's not many people on the beach. There's not usually many snags here. And there can be quite a variety of fish, which for a pleasure session I quite like. Now ideally, I'd like some big whiting. Take something home to eat for a change. When I say big, the legal size for whiting is 27 centimetres, but I want them, well, definitely more than 30, preferably 33. So 4, maybe half a dozen of those would be excellent. But what else could we get? Well, there'll probably be dogfish. There could be dabs. I have had bass down here before. I've had small codling down here before, and you do get the odd thornback grey as well. So tonight I'm fishing with 2 rods, which is unusual for me. You only allowed 1 in the match. Only got 2 hooks on each. I've got a pumpy loop rig on each one. The top hook I'm going with my standard Camasan size 2 with a little bit of mackerel on, which I've found very effective for the whiting. And then on the bottom hook I'm going to have a cocktail of anchovy and squid. Pick up that bigger fish. If there is a thornback there, that's probably what I'll pick up the thornback on. There's also strap congers around here as well you might pick up. But we'll see. I'm only out for about 3 hours. Haven't even put the beach shelter up. There's a slight sort of misty drizzle, but there's virtually no wind. So unless I don't have to, I'm not going to bother. So unless I have to, I'm not going to bother putting the beach shelter up. So, as it's just an evening pleasure session, probably no more than 3 hours. I've raided the freezer. Oh. Right, show you. Now, I know you shouldn't cut towards yourself, but with a sharp knife and not much pressure, you put pressure on your slip. And that's it. That's all I do. Very thin. The oils in a mackerel are all just under the skin anyway. And you can always keep the rest of that for like a sort of bass or conger bait. And then my anchovy. Cut the head off. A bit of the tail. It's solid at the moment. Second time all the way through, and I don't use big baits even pleasure fishing. So that one anchovy is going to do me 8 baits. That's it. I'll elasticate a little bit of squid to that. There's a few black lug. I don't know if I get around to using those. Oh. Cut up the body. Open it out. Now, the gut's a really good bait, but not for what I want. I just want a little bit to strengthen the anchovy. That'll get me going. Oh, so you can do this anchovy on a baiting needle, and for that I would use one of the sharp baiting needles. I quite like this at the moment. A 3-prong tool that holds the bait still. You don't need much squid. I'm going to cut that in half and try to get 2 out of it. That's it. That's one of my anchovy baits. Oh. A mackerel. Oh, can I get 3 out of that? I don't know. Oh. So I just cut a piece like that, it's thinner than my little finger. Put the hook through sort of 3 times and then cut it off and move your way down until you've used up all that mackerel. So I'm going to get probably 3 baits out of that as well. You see how thin it is. And you're all saying, oh, baits are too small, baits are too small. We'll see. I don't know how well you can see this, but this whiting's taken both the hooks. So much for the hooks hurting them. So 1 hour in, and I've had a fish every cast. First cast was a dogfish, and after that it's been whiting. I haven't shown you all the whiting. I'm sure you've seen them before. I've not had any double shots yet, but you know, a fish a cast's not bad. I'm not getting the whiting the size I want for my dinner. And I am finding it hard work because I'm fishing two rods and I did stagger it. So I cast one rod out and then I waited 10 minutes before I cast the next one out. So every 10 minutes, I'm then bringing one of the rods in. So they're out for 20 minutes each at a time. But it means every 10 minutes, I'm bringing in, changing over the rig, casting that rig out, rebaiting the spare rig, putting that on, and I'm sitting down looking at my watch, and I've got like a minute left before it's time to bring the next rod in. So it's a bit of hard work, but I suppose there's fish coming in. Could be a lot worse. A reasonable thorn back. I've got my measuring. Yeah. That's 42 across the wings. Oh, I haven't got the paper with me, that's what I want to get home. So I haven't got scales. There, target achieved. Nice little thorn back. So there's my second dogfish. I've had a fish every single cast. Fishing with two rods, because I'm only pleasure fishing, it's exhausting compared to the match fishing. So I thought it was worth showing you this if you can see it. If you've watched me before, my main rod I use is a Century Tip Tornado Graphic Super Match. Now the tip on that has got some glass in it. It's a lot of composite between carbon and glass, but I don't think there's much glass there, and that line's tight, and yet there's very little bend in the rod. And the Coniflex, which, I mean, it's older, but it's not because it's older. It's got a glass tip, and you can see just how much extra curve is in there. So it doesn't mean one's better than the other, it's just a matter of preference. With the glass tip will show you more bites. If it's rough, sometimes there's a bit, because that bit more give in there, it can hold better. But the stiffer tip is probably a better casting tip. But you don't see many bites on that Coniflex. But in my matches, I fish to time, so it doesn't really matter. So there's a double shot, whiting and dogfish. Whiting's not really big enough to keep. It's a shame it's not a match. These would be great fish for a match. But I'm really after half a dozen nice size whiting for the table. But let's not knock it. I'm catching fish and it's a bit of fun. Oh. So hour two, that was much better. I mean, not that I minded catching a little fish every cast in the first hour, but so just after the start of that second hour, I had the thornback. I've then had another dogfish. I had a double shot of dogfish and whiting, and a couple more whiting. So that's been fun, but even more hectic than the first hour. Still not got my dinner though. Well, there's a dab. Oh. So a little dab. Took the top hook with a little bit of mackerel on. They are very predatory. I know people like fishing with them for little bits of worm, but they are actually very predatory. There's a double shot of whiting. But they're still quite small. Not going to be my dinner. So that's the end of hour 3. I've still got to fish every cast. Yeah, there's a dogfish in there. There was a dab in there, but it's mostly little whiting. But it's been fun. Well, I'm coming to the end now because it's getting near high tide. The tide will slacken off. I really need that tide to find the fish. But you've had 4 species. Are you not entertained? I'm not sure what film that's from. Put in the comments. Someone will remember what film that's from. I think it might be Gladiator. But that's, yeah, I've come down. I've just taken a few bits of bait out of the fridge. 15-minute drive from my house, which I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I live near the beach. So just a relaxing bit of fun and a very nice thornback. Now I think I said in one of the clips, target achieved. Which is a bit of an exaggeration. I suppose I had it in the back of my mind, it was a possibility, but I can't really say it was the target. The target was dinner, and I haven't achieved that. All the whiting have been quite small. Can't imagine we could get this to 5 species, but there's a pout maybe. I'll bring you back if something exciting happens, but otherwise I'm going to start packing up and face the walk back. See you next time.